With the talks of Russia's possible return to international competitive figure skating under their own flag, there also have been concerns about it being adequate and appropriate in the current circumstances. Allowing Russian athletes to compete under their own flag is often called cynical. The keyboard warriors, however, tend to disagree. They claim that poor Russian athletes have no choice but to support their government, or that sport and politics are unrelated. Let's try to figure out what's really going on with the Russian figure skaters regarding the war. I'm Mary, a beginner figure skater and a former competitive dancer, and I would appreciate if you like this video. You can always change your mind later. Anyways, let's dive right in. The 2022 Winter Olympics had ended right before Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Shortly after, in April of 2022, Russia's President Vladimir Putin had met with some of the athletes who had participated in the aforementioned games. Figure skaters included. Among them were Mark Kondratyuk, Victoria Sinitsina, Nikita Katsalapov, Anastasia Mishina, Alexandra Trusova, and Kamila Valieva, and many more. Not everybody did come though. For example, Anna Sherbakova, who although later made her stance on the war known by hosting a New Year show on Channel 1, the same show which featured Russian military men and other celebrities who openly support the war. All this was accompanied by Z symbols. In 2023, Trusova and Kondratyuk hosted a workshop for kids which was opened by a military man currently serving in the Russian army, and the event itself was held under propagandist slogans. The well-known coach and child abuser of Georgian descent Eteri Tudberidze is very careful regarding her position. Before the full-scale invasion, she was a frequent guest at Putin's. After 2022, though, she hadn't arrived to receive her award, although she'd accepted it. Looking at the bigger picture, though, prompts me to think that her actions were dictated not by high morals, but by pure egoism. Most likely she's trying to get herself in the best position and whitewash her reputation as an abuser and coach who dopes her students. But no matter how hard she tries, her colleagues such as Renat Laishev and one of her school's coaches, Alexei Zheleznyakov, who's fundraising money for the Russian army and personally visited Ukraine's occupied territory. See, if she works with them, that most likely means that she approves of their action, or at least is tolerant enough to not do anything about it. Overall, Tudberidze is known to be doing everything for her own benefit. Being able to reintegrate into international sport and claiming you were the victim of circumstances is easier when you don't voice your position alone. Yevgeny Plющenko, a avid supporter of Putin, he'd repeatedly posted in support of war and staged an ice show featuring Russia's top skaters and propagandist symbols. Ilya Averbuch, except being a show producer, also organizes a television show Ice Age, where there was a number glorifying Russia's war against Ukraine. Afterwards, all the participants openly spoke in favor of the war and supported poor Russian women waiting for their husbands who were on the front line. Russian state-sponsored ice shows. These shows had repeatedly won grants from Putin himself. One of the topics were so-called cultural integration Kherson, Zaporizhia, and so-called LNR and DNR, which all are Ukrainian occupied territories in the one and only cultural and historical space, meaning Russian space, obviously. Tatiana Navka, an ex-Russian figure skater, is a wife of Russian government official Dmitry Peskov and supports the war openly and loudly. Her ex-partner, Roman Kostomarov, is also an avid supporter of the invasion and Putin's government. Olympic champion Yulia Lipnitska doesn't just support the invasion, but has her husband on the front line, killing Ukrainians. And should I even mention Valieva, Trusova, Kosterna, Tuktamisheva, and many more. Most of them already have experience of wearing the Russian army symbols and or performing at propagandist events, which are hosted by aforementioned Plющenko, who pastes the Russian Z everywhere possible. So, is there someone still claiming that the Russian government and Russian sport are separate, even while knowing how much money Russians spend on promoting figure skating? Are we willing to have aggressors on the international ice so they can demonstrate their powers through sport? Do we really need to see Putinists? I don't think so. If you don't share my opinion, despite everything stated above, I'm open for a debate. My stance is that terrorism shouldn't be normalized, And although at some point Russia's about to return, Russian figure skaters and coaches must pay for their actions. It seems that now sports federations of all levels would like it to go unnoticed, but we have World War II to learn from, to see where it leads. Thanks for watching and see you next time.